Live from Newark, New Jersey. This is from Igbobasics publications in the United States of America. We're here welcoming the wonderful group Umu Igbo Unite, a wonderful organization. And I na-ekele ndị Igbo na-asị unu a na-ewetara unu ozi si na America. Onye unu na n'olu ya bụ Opiebe Igbobasics.
Hello, my name is iheke, and I'm here with Emeka Okpukpara, and he is the leader of this organization, the president. I'd like to ask you a few questions today about this event and the organization. To start off with, who are you? Tell me about who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is Emeka Okpukpara. I am the first son to Jonathan and Kate Okpukpara from Oruma South local government, Norfolk specifically, and Hokkaido village if you get even deeper. I recently just moved back to Abuja. I spend most of my time back home, but I still maintain my life here in the United States.
That's great. And also, just another culturally significant detail about yourself. What does your last name mean?
So that's a funny story. Okpukpara means, it was actually my grandfather's, I guess what we would say, Ifeanyi. His original last name was Okeke, but he took an exam. One was in school. He took an exam. There was another guy named Jonathan Okeke in his class. The exam happened, and one passed, one failed. So they said there was another guy who passed. So my grandfather said, you know what, he needs to differentiate himself from the other person. So he took his the name Anetia, more or less what he's known for, and it's Okpukpara, which means more or less a warrior comes, carries somebody, Ikbaria, you bully that person. So that's how the name comes. And obviously in the United States, it's very difficult to say that name, but it's my last name and I have a choice.
I can appreciate that. That's a very interesting personal detail. Your grandfather sounds like he was an interesting man. Now, a little bit more about your organization. Tell me about your organization, a little bit about what it does and your vision that inspired it.
Okay, so Umu Unite started in Atlanta, Georgia in 2005. Sid and one of the founders living. We were just talking about how to unite Igbo youth. It seemed like there was a lot of people who would come back and who would come to the States and not know where to fit in. Wonderful organizations by our parents, but they were all catered to the adults 45, 50 and up. So we decided to go ahead and pick something that makes more sense that will cater to just Igbo youth. When we first started this, mind you, being Igbo wasn't really, being Nigerian in general, or African even, if you go further, wasn't really cool. It was kind of just like, you Africans, you guys whatever Americans used to say. But we said that it's our culture, it's our language, we have to stick to it. So we started this organization to promote Igbo culture and to promote Igbo knowledge of Igbo amongst people our age. Now, granted, in the past 5 years, as you know, being African and being different is now mainstream. So you see a lot of people who now identify with this, which 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they didn't, because they felt like we were not really in the mainstream. But for us, it's a matter of uniting Igbo youth. There's a lot of things that Igbos are doing, powerful things in America, but we're all not really one. People are doing their own things in their own lane, but we need to unite as one to understand how to push the Igbo agenda and really push our people forward.
That is a great way to sum up what you do. A little bit about your activities now, to speak on your agenda. You're doing a lot of service projects, right? Like first your nationwide book drive that's ongoing. You started it a while back, and Just wanted a little bit of a update on the successes and the progress of it.
So we partnered up with a wonderful organization called Books for Africa over the past couple of years. We go there, they're based in Atlanta, Georgia. We go there every couple months to help them with sorting out their books, organizing it, and then sending them back to Africa. They've got massive projects throughout Africa. We're focused on the ones that are in Igbo land. The UIU book drive is something we started maybe 8 or 9 years ago, where people brought books that they used if you were studying for the MCAT or PCAT or GMAT or whatever you were studying for, and you finished, you had no use for the books, but you brought it to an organization like us, which had people who were coming through that process. And that's how we're able to pass on knowledge and keep things alive. It's a way to recycle the knowledge.
Yeah, to give resources forward to others who need it.
Yes.
It's very charitable. And also another charitable venture that I understand you've been preparing is an Igbo Land community service project where you intend to go on a trip with several others from the organization to do charity there.
Yes, and fortunately enough, through God's provision and God's protection, we're able to launch that project off last year in December 28th and 29th. We visited an orphanage in Nsukka and one in Onitsha. Just spent time with the kids, invested in some books, and also toys, supplies, whatever we put together here. So this year we're planning to go back again through, and we've gotten support from Target. So we put together care packages that'll be given out to kids. Last year, approximately about 150 people were impacted. This year, the goal is to get up to 1,000 people. So we're really hoping for everyone's support to really push our agenda forward, because we feel like a lot of people in Nigeria are suffering, and here in America we don't realize it. We go for Christmas, we see people, we wave, everyone's fine, we move on. But when it comes to day-to-day life, people are suffering in Nigeria. So this is our opportunity for us to give back and to help those to just provide some sort of relief for people who are not doing so well.
That's great, especially because you have an organization that's so well organized and put together to really execute this plan. Speaking of your organization, tell us a little bit about it, how big it is and how big is your membership? Because I understand that this event right now is supposed to get as many as 1,500 guests, and that this current dinner has about 600 people seated.
Okay, yeah, this dinner that's going on now and in the other room is set for about 750, and we'll get well over 750 people, because of it's the last event of the weekend. We start on Thursday for the convention, the 11th annual Umu Igbo Unite convention, and now this is the last event before the church service tomorrow morning. So we'll have about 750 people here for the dinner, and then for the after party, probably edging towards that 1,000 number. In terms of membership, we have about 2,500 people in our membership database, and then we have chapters throughout the country that people are currently members in Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, and the tri-state area. So we're really hoping to grow these chapters as a way to form this synergy throughout the year, because the convention is fun, the convention is nice, but it's a mountaintop experience. Like we all know, you're at that high peak, but as soon as it's over, you go back down. But we want these chapters to form in order to push the synergy and push our agenda throughout the year before the next convention.
Your organization, you said, has been around for 11 years. You've had 11 more of these conventions in all sorts of places, from Maryland, Georgia, to Texas, and you have chapters all around the United States. What brought you here for this convention? What brought you to New Jersey this time?
So that process was a very interesting one, because last year was the 10th annual one, and we went back to where we started in Atlanta, Georgia. So this year, once we started the conversation, a lot of cities were in the air, we decided that if you look at the map of where it's been Baltimore, Annapolis, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas. If you look at that, that's very southern and more or less it hasn't hit the northeast. And we realized that the amount of people and the amount of impact you could have by doing it somewhere that's very well located in the tri-state area. You could have Philly, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, all the DC, all these people that have access to this convention. So we realized that our people, regardless of where we do this convention, we will get 80% of the people will not be from the city. So it's a matter of where can we maximize on that 20%. So New Jersey made the most sense, and they were very welcoming, so I was always trying the conversation to do the convention here. So I believe it was a really good choice. It was expensive, but it was a really good choice.
I see your thought process there. It makes a lot of sense. You did a good job selecting this location. Finally, on your organization, what do you see happening in your organization's future? Because obviously you've achieved a lot. You've been around for quite a bit. You've had 11 conventions so far. You have a very good turnout this time. What do you see as the future beyond these current service projects?
So for me, I believe in impact, because I think for us, we just hit the tip of the iceberg. Conventions are nice, social events are awesome. That's how you get people out. But there are people here who are doing wonderful things in their community who can then apply that same knowledge back home. So for me, it's a matter of improving Igbo land, because I think that's where we're from. That's our bond. So if we sit around and say, let's just have social events, conventions, that's nice. But UIU Cares should end up being on the same tier as a convention in terms of scope, in terms of budget, in terms of attraction and hype. Because I think that's when you really see what you're doing. These things are fun, they're nice, dancers, masquerades, people. But at the end of the day, the key is when it's all said and done, are you going to say, oh, we did a convention? Or are you going to say, actually, no, we went and we visited, we brought together 20 doctors from UIU and we went down to the East and actually went to hospitals and helped? Or are we going to say we had nice conventions? Conventions are nice, but they're not to what we're looking for. It's about making change in people's lives back home.
So your organization is really aiming to, in the future, more broadly mobilize, especially the youthful Igbo community.
Yes.
Can appreciate that cause. Finally, I'd like to broach some cultural concepts with you. The other organizations like the Council of Igbo States in America and World Igbo Congress, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of other organizations are more oriented towards people in an older age grade, maybe 45, 55, kind of up there. And I've noticed that there's not too many people that push beyond 40 here tonight. So I would just like to have you maybe indicate what's different about your organization besides that. And
so for us, I think the big difference is this organization started 11 years ago. So you would think most people that came 11 years ago were people who were young, because that's the oldest founder at that point was not more than 25, 26. So their network was right around that same age range. So it was stapled as a young Igbo thing, and that's what we wanted. We wanted it to be between 18 and 40, because we said there's so many organizations left, right, and center. There's in Atlanta where I live, or where I used to live, there's Igbo Union, there's Anambra USA, there's all these things have different people, but for the most part, it's older Igbo people getting together. So we said we wanted to do something different for the young people, and that's how this really started, because we're getting to a point where some of the founders are now broaching that 40. So you have to now ask yourself the honest question, what happens next? but we're at a point where we've done a bit, but we can do more. So we then need to now sort out what will happen next. But for us, the organization started the way it is, and that's how we want to keep it, just to keep it fresh and to give people who are coming through, finish high school, or you're in college and you don't know how to identify as an Igbo person. This is a perfect place for you to come to see how you can identify as an Igbo person.
That's an excellent explanation of your cultural relevance, especially to the younger generations. I think that you probably are having a great impact on, especially a lot of the Igbo youths that don't have a strong sense of identity yet. This is a great place to come to really absorb culture and then link up to make effect and to affect change back home. Also, especially in relation almost directly to culture and language, since your group represents a large cross-section of young Nigerian professionals, and your generation is definitely different from the older generations from who did form the World Igbo Congress and other organizations like that. How do you feel your organization and your generation helps to preserve Igbo culture and language? And also, how do you feel that it's different? How do you feel that it helps to change and evolve the Igbo culture?
So for us, the chapters throughout the country, they have two things that they must do every quarter. It's a social event and a cultural event, as well as cultural ties to language. So we have Igbo lessons that happen, some chapters every week, some chapters once a month, just depending on the logistics. So for us, it's a matter of language and culture so tied together, because this interview is been all in English. At the end of the day, if it was in Igbo, I could be able to hang and speak Igbo, because for me, when we came to the States, my parents' approach was, you're an Igbo child. Regardless of what you do, you're Igbo. Your name is Emeka. Your name is not Jonathan, or it's not Michael, it's Emeka. So we were forced to speak Igbo growing up. And that's how we want this organization, we want to grow people and train people on the Igbo language. And I think for us, if you look at it, Nigerians and back home, they'll give you respect and they'll give you what's yours if you can identify with culture. If you don't, then they look at you as someone who just came. But I can go to the village by myself and spend the night at my father's house by myself because I'm tied to that culture. So that's what we want to open up, because a lot of people our age want to go back to Nigeria because you're now seeing that Africa is the new frontier. But a lot of people don't have the ties back home. So I moved back because I felt like home was a better place for me. So I want to use that opportunity to open doors to people to be able to come back home and experience our culture, experience this is the soul is where I'm from. I'm not from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from, and I'm from Imo. I'm from Ebonyi, wherever you're from. So
that's an excellent picture of your cultural relevance, your cultural views, and especially how this organization has a cultural effect on linking people back to their home country. And we have a special guest here to welcome you to New Jersey.
Deputy Mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Chief Ugo, please welcome our August visitors to New Jersey.
Here we have with us the Deputy Mayor. Hello, sir.
Good to see you.
And he's come to welcome the president of this organization, Umu Igbo Unity, to New Jersey.
Mr. Emeka, good to see you. Emeka Okpukpara,
yes, sir.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Mr. President. On behalf of the Mayor of the Great City of Newark, New Jersey, Senator Razia Baraka, I welcome you to the city of Newark.
Thank you, sir.
As an Igbo man myself, I mean, I can't be prouder. This is actually one of the proudest moments of my life. Being in this Newark.
Work on us.
No, I am one of the honors of mine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay? So, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And Newark has just been very, wonderful to us. I think for us, we've just tried to find cities that we can partner with, and Newark has just been exceptional to us. As we grow, we'll definitely look back on this experience. It's one of our mountaintop experiences, so it's really good for what you guys have done for us, and what our participants have gained from this experience. So it's well appreciated.
I'm going to share that with the mayor. I must tell you, the very first day that your members approached me, came to my office, and wanted to see how my office. By the way, my name is Ugo Nwaokoro, and I'm the Deputy Mayor of International Relations and Diaspora Affairs, City of Newark, New Jersey. So when they came to my office, I wanted to see. I was almost in tears because I was in tears. The reason being that being in this country, being an older person, older than you guys, I've seen organizations. I've seen them not having the energy, not having the synergy, really working for something. You guys are professionals, so you guys are doing the right thing. You guys are not there for publicity. You guys are not there because you want to be chief or you want to be this. No, you guys are building a network of professionals. So I had somebody, one of your members that came was or is the vice president of Bank of America, and it was amazing. So I told them, look, as an Igbo person, I just want to be part of what you guys are doing. So anywhere we can encourage you, please. The mayor would have loved to be here himself, but we had occupied the city today. Okay. So it was all burnt out, and we had guests from all parts of the country that is hosting them. Okay. If not that I'm an Igbo person, I probably wouldn't have been here. So, but it gladdens my heart to be here. Thank you. I can't even Igbo. You guys, stay Unuchi.
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
God bless.
Thank you, sir.
It's been great to have you both on this interview. Any closing comments for the viewers?
So for me, one thing that's been on my heart ever since going back to Nigeria is we hear this all the time. It's an adage that's been around for so many generations, but as being back home, it's clear that we need to unite as one. There's a lot of things we can do as one, but we feel that I'm chief, you can go away. But I think we need to now use this as an opportunity, ever since what's going on in our country, to realize that we can be one in order to drive a greater good for our community. So please, let's unite and let's have unity amongst ourselves. That's all.
Okay, to add to what Emeka just said, just picking from what you said, this occasion, the Umu Igbo Unite organization, kind of gives me hope that Igbos now I see that there's a generation that will sustain, preserve, and take our culture to the next level. So my plea to you guys tonight is to please don't relent on your efforts. Whatever you're doing, please continue on this path. Don't let politics or bickering, what has killed all the other organizations that we have here, affect you guys. See yourself as the last frontier, as the last hope of the Igbo nation. So you guys can actually give us the leadership that we lack in Igbo land. So you guys, kind of like chart the path and let us follow you guys, because you guys have the right leadership. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I have to say this is the truth. I like what I see. Being a member of several organizations, I've seen things or what tore those organizations apart. But because what you guys have, so you guys have commonness of professionalism. You guys are professionals. So you're not looking because you're from Imo State or you're from that. You're looking to unite the entire Igbo. So you guys don't bring that division of this person is from Imo, this person is from Anambra, this person is this or that. Just have that commonness of networking. So you want to support each other. You want to lift each other up. So continue to do that. And the city of Newark, by the way, is a city of immigrants. Newark works very well, as evidenced by my humble self here. For the very first time, as a matter of fact, in the entire country of the United States, that an African is the deputy mayor. I wasn't born here, I wasn't raised here. I'm an Igbo man from Imo State. I migrated here. So, but today I'm sitting as the deputy mayor of the city of Newark. So Newark is a welcoming city. Anytime you guys want to get my office is open, I can always assist you guys. I want to assist you guys. Just call upon me. And then, we will work together and continue to move this organization forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You did the one.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been great having both of you guys
It's an honor.
here
Thank you.
tonight
Thank you,
for
sir.
this interview. I hope that you have a great time in New Jersey and that you both enjoy the rest of this evening.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Igbo mmammanụ
Yeah.
Igbo mmammanụ onye nu na-alụ ọrụ ya bụ Opiebe n'Igbobasics Publications in the
Thank you,
United
sir.
States of America.
Thank you, sir.
Ndewo.
Hello.